Today we will continue to summarize the Harem anime in the labyrinth of the other world, and also thank you for the 200,000 views in the first part. In the first part, meikyuu goes to the maze with Roxanne in order to fight the leader of the first floor, whom they must defeat in order to move to the second floor. When they entered, they found a small room that never indicates that it is the boss's room. But suddenly they felt earthquakes and also a tree monster appeared in front of them. They thought that this monster was the boss, but they discovered that it was an ordinary monster of the first level. They attacked him quickly. Ordinary blows did not affect him. But finally meikyuu cut him in half, and he found out that this is the boss. This monster turned into a small paper that can be used to make medicines. Then they went to the second floor. Meikyuu asked Roxanne a question. Is it possible to go back to the first floor and fight the boss again? And also, is it possible to get that paper in order to acquire the healing skill? Because the previous time he gave the healing skill to Roxanne, and he actually came back through the gate. But the problem is that he found himself outside the maze. He felt ashamed of Roxanne, so he told her that he did this in order to make sure. After they returned to the maze, meikyuu easily defeated the monster and also obtained the level 1 herbalist skill. He tried this skill and got the antidote pills, which are anti-poison, and he also found out that there are some monsters that use poison to attack. So they went to one of the shops in order to buy some medicines, and they also bought strengthening pills and pills to treat paralysis and ossification. Then they returned to the maze again, but this time, all the monsters were on the second level in the form of a duo. Because meikyuu is now on the second floor, the new monsters are larvae. They easily defeated her until they found one of the powerful larvae that uses magic. And actually she attacked meikyuu and also tied him. He is unable to move, so he used his foot to fix it, picked up the sword, cut it off. During the return, he noticed one of the strange men, so he grabbed Roxanne and asked her to tell him about where that strange man was looking. She said that he was looking at the merchant's house. Then meikyuu used one of the identification skills, and actually found out that this person is a bandit of the third level. So they went to Alan in order to tell him about it, but he said that this was related to that person meikyuu brought from that village, and also said that all this happened because of that stolen handkerchief. This man was sold to one of the groups, and now he has the freedom to go out and enter because this was one of the strange requests of the group. This group is a dangerous gang planning an attack on the merchant's trading house. Then meikyuu was about to leave, but Roxanne became sad because this house is dear to her heart. So meikyuu asked Alan to hire him a guard for the house. He agreed, and also they set the appropriate salary, and also told him that all the cards he would get from the thieves, all will be taken by meikyuu. Roxanne and meikyuu returned home, and also slept together, and when night came, they went to the merchant's house, and he actually prepared a group of slaves who were specialized in fighting. He also extinguished the candle and asked them to wait quietly. Roxanne has a very strong sense of smell, so she found out that the robbers arrived and opened the door. Everyone is ready to fight. meikyuu went to protect the slaves, but he saw that thief, so he asked Roxanne to wait. meikyuu used a magic skill, which is self-destruction, but he collapsed after using it. Having completed the task of protecting the house, Alan gave meikyuu a reward and also thanked him for the help. Then they left, but meikyuu used teleportation in order to go to the maze. But when he arrived, he felt tired and collapsed on the ground, so he defeated some monsters in order to regain his energy. Then he asked Roxanne about magic and how to use it, and in fact he decided to use fire, and succeeded in it, and also succeeded in using the water element. Roxanne said that this water is drinkable. He wants power, so she recommended him and told him to use a magic wand, and she also suggested he go to a city named Korator. And while they were walking, suddenly they found the gate behind which the leader of the second floor is located. They entered, but they found a giant caterpillar. This is the leader, so they defeated him and went to the third floor. Roxanne said that Kobold would appear, and indeed after a few moments a small monster with a knife appeared in front of them. This is Kobold. meikyuu easily defeated him, but this monster turned into salt, and salt is the cheapest item in the guild. He threw this item, and also began to fight these monsters using sword and fire magic. After he collected a large number of items, he decided to return home. Roxanne asked him about his level, and he told her that he is at level 20. Then they go to the guild in order to sell items, but suddenly they hear the voice of a girl. This girl is calling to people who want to go on a trip to the imperial capital. Roxanne told him that Korator is located next to the imperial capital, and she told him to take advantage of the opportunity, and also told him that she would wait for him, because the price of going one person is very expensive. And indeed he went with this girl, and they also went to Korator. Then meikyuu returned to the Valley Guild in order to take Roxanne, but he was feeling exhausted, so they went to the hotel, and then they went to the shower. He helped Roxanne in the shower, because that day was full of troubles. meikyuu hugged Roxanne, and also something from another world happened between them. The next day, they went to Kurator in order to buy items, and also went to the maze. But this maze is not free, adventurers must pay the entrance costs. Roxanne suggested to him to use teleportation. He smiled and said to her, "You are a smart girl." The next day, when they were exploring the city, they entered one of the shops in order to buy weapons. But the owner of the shop told them that this place is for kitchen equipment. Weapons are sold down the street next to the cavalry headquarters. After Meikyuu started wondering how to get a house, Roxanne told him that the price of one room is between 10,000 and 30,000 a year, but a big house costs 50,000. Then they went to the weapons store and bought the necessary equipment. Then they went to that store that sells kitchen equipment. He asked this woman about how to live here. She told him that there are no restrictions in this city and anyone can live here after confirming his identity. She supervises the 6th district because the city is divided into 6 districts, and she also told him about house prices. She looked at Roxanne and said that she was beautiful. Then Meikyuu asked her to show him some houses, and they actually went to the first house. The house is big. This woman said that the previous owner maintained the doors, windows, and bathrooms. Meikyuu also checked it and also used teleportation on the walls, and he really succeeded in that. Then he went to the dealer and told her that he agreed to stay in this house. The house price is 45,000 a year, and now they have to go to the knight's headquarters for the contract. And they actually managed to bypass the card check, and they also signed the contract. Then they bought some equipment for the kitchen. They went home, and then they went to the valley maze, the 3rd floor. Meikyuu was excited in order to try the new weapon, and he actually shot magic on one of the monsters. The monster turned into an item which is a pile of threads. Roxanne was impressed by the power that her master has. Then they went to the valley hotel. Because the house has no furniture, they entered the room. Meikyuu began to remember his condition before buying Roxanne, and also began to remember his first night with her. And when Roxanne came, they did that thing again and slept together. The next morning they would move into their new house. They returned the key to the worker, and they went by teleportation. Roxanne did the cleaning because the house was dirty, but Meikyuu decided to go to the new maze. He waited in line and also paid the price. He entered the maze and found out that it looked like the valley maze, but she was crowded with adventurers coming from different places. Then he used teleportation and returned home. Roxanne, she greeted him and said, "Welcome to your new home." He wanted to give her a kiss, but suddenly the bell rings. The order for furniture has arrived. But it arrived at an inopportune time. Then they arranged the furniture using teleportation. And now the house is ready. The night came, so they slept together, and the next day Meikyuu became lazy and does not want to go to the maze. But he has to go, so they went. The maze is full of adventurers, so she told him that the reason is that this maze is very famous. They went to the 1st floor, to the leader's waiting room, but they found a long queue, and while waiting, Roxanne said that no one could reach the last floor, and if one of the adventurers managed to reach that floor, the probability that he would survive is 1%. She also said that the highest floor reached is the 91st floor. The only group that made it there is the Emperor's first squad. Their turn has come in order to enter. On the 1st floor they found Kobold, so they defeated him easily. They went to the 2nd floor. Meikyuu was excited to use magic because he thought he would find mythical monsters on this floor, but this place was full of small monsters. So he lost hope and decided to go home. And when they got home, Roxanne told him to rest, and she would buy planting seeds. But he doesn't feel tired, so he decided to go with her, and they actually went to the store, bought seeds and peasant equipment, and in the evening, Meikyuu will do some peasant work, but he doesn't want Roxanne to share with him because these works are hard work, so he asked her to make a fence, and they actually made a fence and plowed the land, and finally they planted seeds. Roxanne did the laundry, but this bucket is small, so she asked Meikyuu to bring a big bucket. And he actually went to the store and also asked the merchant for a bucket bigger than this bucket. The merchant said, "Yes, I can make a bucket the size of a bathtub." Meikyuu started thinking about doing other things with Roxanne in the bathtub, so he asked the merchant to make a bathtub. He returned home. He took Roxanne to the maze, to the room of the leader of the 3rd floor. The first monster was Kobold, so Meikyuu defeated him. This monster turned into a strange element, so he asked Roxanne to come home for dinner, and he also said that he could cook delicious food using this element. They came home and he made dinner. Roxanne doesn't know this kind of food. She tasted it, but she was surprised by the delicious taste. But Meikyuu began to imagine other things. They had dinner and went to sleep. And the next day they went to the maze. But this time they found a big monster that looked like a sheep, so Meikyuu attacked. But suddenly, he clutched his stomach and began to feel headaches and lack of concentration. But when he regained consciousness, he found Roxanne fighting this monster. The problem was she was injured, so he went to treat her and also was attacking the monster at the same time. Roxanne regained her health, so she went to help Meikyuu. and finally they defeated that monster, but with great difficulty. After they returned home, Roxanne doesn't know what meikyuu is waiting for because he didn't tell her. A few moments later, the merchant comes and brings them the order. Roxanne does not know the reason for buying this giant bucket, so he told her that this bucket is a bathtub, and he also told her to bring water. He used magic to prepare a hot bath, and after unsuccessful attempts, he finally managed to prepare hot water for the shower. And he did get into the tub with Roxanne, but meikyuu did things with Roxanne in a different way than the previous times. After the shower they slept together quietly. And so we have come to the end of the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button. See you next time. Peace.